So welcome everyone. So this is my first live analysis video out here, and I'm sure that you will enjoy it. Okay. So I hope everyone also had a last week as a profitable week, and we are just getting charged for this week ahead so that we just kill the market again. Okay. So what I have decided is to share some analysis on some pairs like the GBPUSD, GBPCAD, NZDUSD, USDCAD, USDJPY, gold and oil as well. Okay, so this is gold and this is oil. So I'll just share what actually I am looking for these pairs for certain swing setups, and how I will be taking a look at these pairs, how I will analyze it perfectly. You will be able to see in this video. So let's start with the analysis, and let's start with GBPUSD first. So as usual on the weekly time frame, what we actually see on this is I'm just taking a look at this level. Okay, this low, this high. Okay, this higher low again, and this lower high again. So whenever we have something like this, let's say a low, a high, a higher low, and a lower high, we always see this, a triangle. Okay, we always see this, a triangle. So we know for sure, like, we have that major triangle on the weekly time frame. So anyhow, sometime in the near future, it's going to be broken to the either side. So we can have that massive push to the upside when it breaks, and to the downside as well. So we don't know for sure. We will wait for price action to play out. So let's come on the daily, because this information to me looks relevant. So coming down on the daily time frame, I'll do is I'll just manage these trend lines. I'll make them more perfect. So I have this trend line which looks good. Also that ascending trend line, this descending trend line, and now in a triangular pattern. So let's move forward. So here I have the lower high on the weekly time frame, also this. Okay, so this to me looks perfect. So I'll just keep it as it is. So I have this low, I have this high. Again, what I see happening over here is I have the higher low happening over here. Again, we have the lower high happening over there. So again, what I'll do is, again, I'll just have this eclipse and just mark that level out. Okay, mark that level out. So this is the daily time frame. What we actually see again is we had this trend line which got broken, and then again retested, forming the third touch also on the weekly trend line, and now it just bounced down. So what we actually see after an impulse is, this was the impulse, and now it's the time for liquidation, because most of the people have take their profits. Most of the people take their profits on some key levels, and that's the reason we see some consolidation and stuff happening on the lower time frame, or whatever time frame we are looking at. So this was the impulse. We know this is the correction. So this is the corrective phase where people are most likely taking their profits. So first, second, third, fourth bounce, or retest again. Okay. So this to me looks on the daily time frame, it's perfectly fine with me. And what again I see is, I'll just draw this trend line for reference. I'll just draw this trend line for reference. So I know for sure, like, if I do manage to get a trend line bounce over here, I will expect something to go long. Coming down on the H4, okay, I have this H4 and I see something. This was the high, this was the low. Again, we had managed to get this higher low again. So what I'm actually expecting on this is little tricky. So if we try to draw some fibs from the low to high, what I actually see over here is we have perfectly rejected 61.8. Okay, and then let's get rid of fib. Okay, so we have this trend line. Yeah, we have this trend line. Yeah, I'm not actually drawing it perfectly as I do usually, just to get the confluence. Okay, we have this trend line which mostly got broken now, and then again we have some consolidation happening at this level. So this to me looks like it can just go up again. Okay, but this to me doesn't look that promising. What looks promising to me is this: the price actually coming down back here. So we create the third bounce on this daily trend line which we saw, and then I will wish to go up. So this is what I expect on GBPUSD for the swing term. Okay, swing trade GBPUSD. Okay, so one thing to take into factor, that this can happen, this cannot happen. This is just my expectation on GBPUSD, because Also, we have some levels to clear out right over here as well. So also we have this high which needs to be cleared out, and then we can expect something to happen. So anyway, we have this trend line. Some people might draw it like this, which and then might say, yeah, this trend line got broken, retested, and now it's the time to shoot up. So yeah, this can also happen. Let's say this can also happen. So let's come on the H1 time frame. So coming down on the H1 time frame, let's draw our trend lines more perfectly like this. Okay. So we see a trend line break and then a bounce. Okay, higher. And again, it came down for a retest and created a consolidation. So anyway, we are in this range. We are in this range. So only when that range breaks, we can expect it to climb higher till these levels, which is the lower high again, back to the structure. And what actually I'm expecting on this is just coming down, creating a third bounce on this trend line and then shooting higher. So this can be my expectation. This is my expectation actually on GBP USD. The setup might look something like this. Um, I will wait for it to come down till here, as I said before. I will look for some price action. Then I will just have a buy entry, stop loss just below the trend line. Let's say 25 pips. Okay, 25 pips. Expecting a trend line break and then again shooting up higher. Okay, this trend line got broken anyway. So if it does manage to come down, let's say we have this entry. So also we can adjust this trend line. Let's put it as it was actually. So also one thing which I see happening is the trend line is getting broken. Okay, and then it can just go up now. So this to me looks like a perfect setup up till this level. Okay, this can happen now. Also it can happen now, but I'm not interested in buying this because I know that this is anyway a range, so it can just go up and then come down to my entry, and then I will go long. So this is my expectation on GBPUSD. So I hope it's clear. Again, what I see on GBPCAD is, let me show you. As usual on the weekly time frame, what I see happening on this is we have this high, a trend line similar as GBPUSD, a trend line again. Okay, and let's go on the daily time frame. Coming on the daily time frame, what I actually see over here happening is we have a crucial level of support happening over here. That's the only reason we rejected that and now going up. Okay, again what I see is we have this trend line which looks perfect to me. Okay, and then let's go on the H4. So coming down on the H4, if we try to draw this trend line more perfectly, what we will see is it got a perfect bounce. Okay, right over here first, second, and a third bounce at this level. Also, this to me looks very corrective, so we can have that impulsive move to the upside. So we have this trend line, which is the counter trend line. Let's go on the H1 to expect something basically. So we have this third bounce happening over here, perfectly closed as a doji candle as well, which is always a good sign for a reversal. So drawing my trend line based on this level. So if this counter trend line breaks, what I will expect is, okay, to break this level as well and then go high. This is my expectation. Let's say till this level, okay, because also we have some structure right over here happening. So also if that breaks, we can have some more bullish momentum to the upside, which is here, which is also a structural level, and again to the high. Yeah, like this is my expectation, a rough analysis on GBPCAD as well. So coming down on the NZDUSD daily time frame, let's start from the weekly. Okay, so starting from the weekly time frame, what we actually see over here happening is we had this low. Okay, we also have this low, so let's try to draw some trend lines from low to this level. Again, let's draw this just to expect a third bounce on this descending trend line. Coming on the daily now, so we know for sure like this was a weekly trend line. Also we have this trend line which makes more sense because we can expect a third bounce on this trend line if it does manage to come up. So why this happened, let me show you. This was our trend line which got broken. Okay, which got broken, and then we had the retest again, and then it came down. So this was the scenario on the daily time frame. So let's come on the H4 time frame. So we actually expect something on this and find a setup. So see this. This is a descending trend line which looks more promising because it's very perfect. First, second, third, and a fourth bounce. So what I see is we have a crucial level of support where we didn't manage to break it. And then what I actually expect on this is after we break this lower high, I will be expecting a bullish momentum, which is this level, which is perfect. Also, we have this level where the actually bearish momentum started from after the retest based on the daily time frame. So let's take a look at some fibs from the high to the low. So what we actually see over here is this is 38.2 level, okay? So I'll just have my line right over here because I'm taking more confidences with the Fibonacci as well. So this is my level, which is right over here. Again, if I take some more Fibonacci flow, what I see is this is perfectly aligning with 50% as well. So I'll just have my line at the 50%. So I make sure that I'm also taking some Fibonacci confluences. So this is my expectation on NZDUSD. What can happen is we break this level, okay? We break this level and then we have the buys. Let's stop loss, let's say till this level, and then we have this trade, okay, which is a good trade anyway. So this was the NZDUSD. So far now we have completed GBPUSD, GBPCAD, the NZDUSD. Now let's jump on. Now let's jump on USDCAD. Okay. So USDCAD, here I am. So weekly time frame. Okay. Weekly time frame. What I actually see over here happening is we have this upside, which is always a good sign for reversal. Also a kind of channel. Okay. So yeah, we are in this range now. We are going up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay. And what do we see on uptrend? Is a low, is a high, is a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And now we didn't manage to get that higher high, which most of the traders were expecting. But this didn't happen. And now what's happening is we have this high, we have this low, we have this lower high. Okay. And now it might be the chance for the next lower low. So this is my expectation on the weekly time frame. I might be wrong on this. Let's take some more confidences. If I draw my trend line based from here to this level, okay, what I see is first, second, and third bounce, which is always good. And we perfectly managed to bounce from that level as well. So coming down on the daily time frame, what I actually see is we have this massive channel, which is anyway a correction. It is going to break to the either side. So this is my expectation, which I just showed is only when we break this trend line, okay? And most likely this support level as well. So only when that level breaks, I'm expecting this sell off. So for now, that's the sell which I just shared is for the more of a longer term trade. It can take a year, we don't know. Okay. So when the level actually sustains, okay, if we do manage to get a breakout of this trend line, that will be a sell setup, okay? And this sell setup will be invalidated if we manage to break these highs and just start climbing higher, something like this, let's say, okay, something like this. So if we manage to see this setup to me is invalidated, which I said is a sell setup. So let's come on the lower time frames to expect something. So if we do manage to come on the lower time frame, let's say on the H4, what we actually see over here is anyway we have this massive trend line. Again, if we try to draw some more trend lines like this, we have this trend line as well, which makes more sense. So if this breaks, it can come down to this level, which is good, okay? But anyway, I'm not going to touch USDCAD for the moment because the problem with USDCAD is it's in a range, it's in consolidation, and it's not a good sign. So I'll just wait for it to break to the either side, which is the daily trend line, or let's say if it does manage to break above this level and go higher. So this is my expectation on USDCAD. So let's jump on USDJPY. So USDJPY, what we actually see over here is if we make some Fibonacci from here to here, okay, this is 78.6, perfect, okay. Again, if I draw some more Fibonacci from let's say low to the high, what we have bounced from is 61.8, a shy to it. Okay, so let's say this is our trade, and why this bearish momentum came, because we had this trend line. I had this analysis that if this trend line breaks, we are perfectly going till this level. Yeah, which was a perfect analysis anyway. So coming on the daily, what we see over here is we are sitting on a crucial level which is strong. Okay, which is strong, and then we had that massive impulse to the downside. USDJPY to me looks like, only if we do manage to stay above this level, I'm expecting a long, or else what can happen. Let's see, we have some more key levels to the downside like this. So if this level gets broken again, what I will expect is it comes down. Okay, so my analysis is based on pure price action on USDJPY, because USDJPY is a very easy pair to trade. Okay, so let's come on the H4 again. So we have this zone right over here, which is pretty strong. So what I'll again do is, we have also this trend line. Okay, we have, let's say we have this trend line. So now coming on the H1, we have some confluences. Let's say we have this trend line. If this breaks, most likely prices may go up. Okay, and shoot higher. So coming again on the H4, we also have a gap right over here. Okay, we also have a gap right over here, which most likely gets filled. Okay, so this is the expectation on USDJPY H4. This breaks to the upside, then we go up, and then again, if this breaks, then again down. So this to me looks massive bearish. The the up the buy trade which I just showed is a counter trend trade anyway. And also we have a structure right over here, which is, yeah, yeah, it is close to 78.6, doesn't matter. That's anyway also on my eye on this level. So this is my expectation on USD JPY. Let's jump on gold. Okay, so weekly time frame anyway, we just have to make sure what's happening. So we have this trend line which price is bounced, and also we have this trend line. Okay, and it's a kind of a triangle. Let's go on the daily. So coming on the daily, what we see is first, second, and third bounce actually happening, and then also we have this trend line, first, second, third, and fourth bounce. Okay, so I will not be touching it until and unless it breaks to the either side. So if it does break up, I'll be long on gold. If it does break down, I will be short on gold. Simple as that. So yeah, this is my expectation. Very, very clean, very, very simple. And also this was the trend line, and then we had the breakout, and then also a bear flag to the downside. So this happened, and now we are in a correction. What will be interesting to see is we just come down, again shoot up, again come down, and then massive impulse to the upside or else downside. So this is interesting anyway. So let's jump on oil. So weekly time frame, what I see is, see, we have approached a massive key level, but this to me looks like it's a consolidation. So let's jump on the daily time frame. So if we do manage to go on the daily time frame, what I see is we have this trend line with one, and we have this trend line which looks promising to me anyway. And then one thing to keep into factor is, anyway, we are in a bullish trend. So we have approached the level and then came up. One more thing I would like to show you based on the H4 time frame is, we have this Fibonacci, and we perfectly managed to bounce from that 78.6. So for a sell setup, what I see is, let's say we have this trend line which breaks to the downside, and then I expect that sell to come into play. Okay, until now what I see is, also we have a massive level right over here, let's say this level. Okay, and only when that breaks to the upside, I will expect a buy till the highs. Okay, because see this, we have this trend line which got broken, retested perfectly, and only when that breaks, I will be up. So yeah, guys, this was my expectation on GBPUSD, GBPCAD, NZDUSD, USDCAD, USDJPY, gold, and oil. So I just hope that you like it, and please like this video so that I will be feeling good about doing more videos like this and sharing my analysis for the week ahead. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed it and have a wonderful week.